What is Markdown and why to use it? Markdown is a lightweight markup language that is broadly utilized for designing and organizing text. It is made to be simple to read and easy to convert into HTML or other formats. Documentation writing, web content creation, and text formatting are all common applications for Markdown. Markdown's simplicity is one of its main advantages. It utilizes plain text organizing linguistic structure, and that implies you can compose and alter Markdown archives utilizing any word processor. Because of this, both technical and non-technical users can access it easily. Text can be formatted in a simple way with Markdown. For instance, headings can be created by adding one or more hash symbols prior to the text. The level of the heading is determined by the number of hash symbols. Asterisks or underscores can also be used to emphasize words or phrases, and hyphens or numbers followed by periods can be used to create lists. Notwithstanding fundamental designing, Markdown upholds different components, for example, joins, pictures, tables, code blocks, and block quotes. Using straightforward syntax, you can easily incorporate these elements into your text. For instance, you can create a link by enclosing the URL in parentheses after the link text is enclosed in square bracket. One of the critical highlights of Markdown is its capacity to change over effectively into different arrangements. Markdown reports can be changed into HTML by utilizing a Markdown processor, permitting you to distribute your substance on the web. There are additionally devices accessible to change over Markdown into designs like PDF, Word reports, and plastic, making it adaptable for different distributing needs. A few well-known stages and applications support Markdown, including GitHub, StackFlood, and Jupyter Notepad, among others. It has turned into a standard configuration for recording code, composing blog entries, and making specialized documentation. Overall, Markdown is widely used for a variety of purposes because it provides a straightforward and effective method for formatting and structuring text. It is well liked among content creators, developers, and writers due to its portability, ease of use, and compatibility with various platforms. How to process Markdown? As stated earlier, to process Markdown we need specific softwares known as Markdown processors. Here is a list of free ones available out there. There are a number of Markdown processors that can convert Markdown syntax into HTML, PDF, or LaTeX output formats. Some of the most popular Markdown processors are Markdown.pl. Markdown.pl was the first Markdown processor developed by John Gruber, the Markdown creator. It was also referred to as Markdown Classic. It is a Perl script that changes over Markdown language structure into HTML. Pandoc. Pandoc is a strong and broadly utilized record converter that upholds various info and result designs, including Markdown. Documents written in Markdown can be converted to HTML, PDF, Microsoft Word, LaTeX, and a variety of other formats. Pandoc offers broad customization choices and is accessible for various stages. Common Mark. Common Mark is a Markdown specification and reference implementation designed to create a uniform Markdown version. The goal of Common Mark processors is consistent and interoperable parsing and rendering of Markdown. Instances of Common Mark processors incorporate CommonMark.js and CMark. Flavored Markdown from GitHub. GitHub has its own adaptation of Markdown called GitHub Season Markdown. GFM broadens the fundamental Markdown language structure by adding extra elements like assignment records, tables, and punctuation featuring for code blocks. On their platform, GitHub renders Markdown documents with GFM. Multi-Markdown. Multi-Markdown is an enhancement to Fletcher T. Penny's original Markdown syntax. It adds tables, footnotes, metadata, math formulas, and other features. HTML, LaTeX, PDF, and other formats can be generated by multi-Markdown processors. Marked. Stamped is a famous Markdown processor for macOS and Windows that gives a live review of the delivered Markdown. It upholds GitHub Season Markdown, as well as custom CSS styles and other high-level elements. Features, compatibility, and customization options may vary by processor. The specific requirements you have, the output format you need, and the tools or platforms you are working with all influence which Markdown processor you choose. What is